Alrighty, welcome back. So we now have a direct or randomized race between BeeTeas and NESCardinality. First off, we did get a couple donations during the break there. We have Retrogriz, who donated $100, saying great stream. John2DX donated $25. Mazrim donated $25 as well, saying please ask the real bomb to think of the most Bamani pun-filled sentence he can think of and say it on stream. Put this towards Sora for Trank's character sprite. And finally we had MacBeers, who donated $25, saying such a great group of people running for a great cause. Love you guys loads. Have a great time for Slurpathon, everyone. And then I'll throw it over to Sparkover, who will be commentating this race here.
I'll have to count us out. Or we can just count ourselves out.
You should probably do the countdown because you're over there.
I paid for my whole couch, but I won't eat.
Soundless. 5.
Have fun.
Alright, so welcome to Dragon Warrior Randomizer. The goal of this game is to find the Ball of Light. You can find the Ball of Light by defeating the Dragon Lord. To get the Dragon Lord, you've got a few things to do. So we're going to open the first 3 chests, see what we get. We find the Death Necklace. We find some Fairy Water. And in the last one, there's going to be a magical key. You need the magical key to get out of the room if you do not have a return spell or another key, and they do not, so they will be exiting. So we're going to take a look at the map outside, see what there is, see what enemies we have to fight, and there's a town right away. And it is the town of Remolder. The racers will be able to buy keys as soon as they have some money for some, so that's going to open up a lot of options immediately. Looks like there are a few beginning game items you can find. So right away we do learn that it goes to this Dragon Lord Breath. That is a little bit, you know, spicy. So for the first little while, I feel like the racers are going to just be grinding up. They're going to want to get some money to buy some keys and possibly some weapons. They're going to want to get some experience to get some levels. And in the end of the game, they are looking to fight the Dragon Lords. To get into the Dragon Lord's castle, they are going to want to find the Stones of Sunlight, Staff of Rain, and the Erdrick's token so that they can make the rainbow drop to access the Dragon Lord. I hear the game is a little bit loud, so I might just be quiet for one moment here. Or I might just keep talking. So you'll notice on the camera below, we have a beautiful hand drawing some pictures. There's not going to be too much so far, but as we explore, NESCardinality is going to be drawing out the map live. The map itself is randomized, so everything is going to be entirely new. So NESCardinality gets to level 2, wee bit of power, go 1, 3, 6, and I believe I saw 5, so a few stats going ahead. Meanwhile, BT is looking around a little more in the desert, possibly to find some better enemies to fight. So for now, the racers are just going to be grinding up probably a few levels to see what there is around. Drakey takes out NESCardinality and sends him back to the start. Meanwhile, BT is trying to find the appropriate enemy to get to level 2. And yeah, comment in chat from Slow Guy is Slow saying it's weird seeing NESCardinality running with a non-vanilla sprite. It's true, I don't believe he has ever done that. But for charity, we did have the donations for the 2 different sprites, so it's all for a good cause. For those of you wondering, though, this NEScartography is indeed not a rarity. NESCardinality does this every single time he does a race, and his maps are very beautiful and detailed. So BT has made it now to level 2. a little bit stronger, can punch a few more things. And our racers are still fighting more enemies to grind upon. I believe they're looking for 53 gold. We'll buy some more keys, and then they might want to look into the treasury to see if there's anything there. Other than that, still gaining levels before they can go on an adventure and see what else is out there in the world. And yes, it's talking about the Nets cartography. There actually is an emote for that. I can see a few of those in chat. Very beautiful. So NESCardinality reaches level 3. Let's see what we get here. 3 power, 8 response speed, 1 hit point, and 0 MP. Somewhere out there, MTI loves it. So this is about what it looks like normally for when you are starting a seed. A lot of grinding, unless you start with a very strong sword or the Hurtmore spell. You probably will have to spend a little bit of time, you know, before you can go out on an adventure. Just like in the game itself, of course. The Randomizer does have ways to speed up the process. The original Nintendo game is a lot slower of a grind, but our racers are on 75% experience, and also some of the enemies have been rearranged with their experience for just a more fun time all over. So let's see, get into the next level. 3 power, 21 response speed, 5 hit points, 1 MP, and they learned Heal More. By the way, I'm just going to note here, now that the rest of the newer donations have been processed, we are above $1,000. Thank you so much, everybody. That is just fantastic. The amount of support that we've been getting from the community, it's been overwhelming, and I'm very happy. So just thank you, everybody, for, you know, your donations, your hosts hanging out with us. Shoutouts to McPherce as well. I know she did donate, and also she has donated some of the prizes that we are going to be doing. I should have been noting a NESCardinality in chat here as I was babbling in the treasury. He got a fairy water and a torch, I believe, and unfortunately I missed the first 2 items. So bad commentator there, gushing on about how well our marathon is going. Looks like he got a large gold chest, though, as he is very rich. Oh, and also a magic key. Thank you very much. That makes sense. Thank you, chat, for catching Sparko up. I just had so many feelings to get out. So, NESCardinality will be checking out the basement to see what is down there. And it is a cave. I'm going to assume the tablet cave. So as a note here, both of our racers are playing without sound. Unfortunately, one of the televisions is unable to play sound, so just so there's not an unfair advantage of being able to bonk through caves, the racers have agreed to both take that and run together kindly. Shoutouts back to the Zelda Randomizer seed that Meg Mac Attack and I played, where we realized with no sound, level 9 would not be very easy. So the treasure chest inside Remilder has a dragon scale that gives you 2 defense upon equipping it. And also a smaller detail, if you ever want to Death Warp, you can re-equip the dragon scale in battle. Yep, we are going bonkless % here. So BT catching up and taking the lead in experience, also learning Heal More now, and is continuing to just grind for now. NESCardinality has done a little bit of the, what we'll call the ghetto gold grind, and is now going to be going into the weapon shop. Looks like broadsword money if there is one there, and there is one. So NESCardinality buys the broadsword. That will help a lot with attacking. So that's going to be a good gain there for fighting a little bit stronger enemies. Unfortunately, unlike the randomizer races we have on Randomania, we do not have a fancy stat tracker to show you, but hopefully every so often we will be able to get some updates from the runners as they check our stats. We'll see how that goes. So BT did sneak ahead with the lead there, but I believe has no weapon yet, so NESCardinality's strength might be able to help quite a bit with that. And he's already taken the lead back. It was said in chat before that I don't believe that NESCardinality knows of the ghosts having Dragonlord breath, but with the broadsword now, that probably is not going to be an issue unless he gets back attacked. Now let's take a small break for some water. Beautiful. Stay hydrated, folks. So BT now ventures into Rimuldar is probably going to be doing some very similar exploration that to what NESCardinality did. And it sounds like I have a little update in chat that our donation incentive for Dragon Quest to take the princess to the Dragonlord has been met. Fantastic. So let's see, level 5, 2 power, 3 speed, 2 hit points, 2 magic, and a new spell, which is Return. You do like to know that eventually, but for right now, it's probably not so important. So NESCardinality is finding the fun police here and is immediately sent back home. It's just like the return spell, except not quite as convenient because you don't really want that to happen to you. Meanwhile, BT is also sent home. So you will notice that our runners are using the names Z and B. Both of those, I believe, will give you a strength and HP boost on your name. Your name that you choose can affect your stats. I believe the randomizer was changed so that there are more options for optimal stat names. But in the vanilla game, I believe there are only 4 options for optimal stat games. The strength agility is also a popular choice, though ever since the implementation of the Death Necklace has been added, strength HP has been most people's choice. But Sparkover, what does the Death Necklace do? Well, we started with the Death Necklace. You do have the option to sell it for 1,200 gold. However, the Death Necklace, not only does it curse you and let you unable to go into the castle, and also when you die they will not heal you, but as well, it will give you a 10 attack power at the cost of 25% of your health. So it could be an in-game decision early on to decide to sell it in hopes of getting a proper weapon to go faster. But also at the end of the game, you never know if that's going to come into play or not. However, with the town of Rimuldar right beside us here, you can't even sell your Death Necklace there. So it looks like BT is doing a small gold grind here. I believe I saw him enter the treasury a second time, possibly also going after that broadsword, though I might be mistaken now. Though possibly it's checking out the chest in Rimuldar. We'll also be receiving the Dragon Scale. We'll don the Dragon Scale. And there's that 2 defense as well. So BT chooses to buy the leather armor, and upon seeing the bamboo pole and the broadsword, I want to assume that he's going to go back to the treasury one more time just to get some money. Meanwhile, NESCardinality is grinding again. One more chest of gold for BT, and another key. And looks like that is the course. NESCardinality now fighting warlocks. They're very feared in the original Dragon Warrior because of their sleep spell. look at that. 0 attack power, 0 agility. There is a true MTI level. I love it. A new spell. I believe it was outside though. So again, nothing for offense there. But now our two players are equal in armor and their attack power, except for, well, I mean their weapons. Sorry, words are difficult. So NESCardinality is starting to branch out a little bit, exploring the world. Even when you're a little bit weaker still, you might want to stay on the plains. The plains tiles have a lower encounter rate than the rest of the tiles. So it's a little bit safer. You still don't know what sort of enemy set you will come across. But as far as having fewer encounters, that at least can be a little bit helpful. So BT trying to run from a Demon Knight, and NESCardinality trying to run from a Stone Man. Unfortunately, both of them are sent home. Stone Men aren't so difficult to run from later on, but even early on, if your agility is not that high, that can always be an issue. Whereas Demon Knights, they're pretty tricky to deal with, no matter how you roll it. So we're back to fighting a Scorpion, back to fighting a Warlock. And it just looks like both of our runners are aching to go out and explore. BT found a skeleton, which is probably good to fight around that level, but unfortunately does have the sleep and hurt combination. Not entirely deadly, but definitely puts a little bit of a problem in your plans. And NESCardinality has found another Stone Man and is sent home again. They punch really hard. So BT makes it to level 5, gets the News of the Return spell. And finds another skeleton. Possibly this time we'll have some better luck, but is put to sleep by the spell. They seem to have a very high chance of casting spells. A lot of them have... It's either a 25, 50, or 75% chance to cast one of their spells. And it really does seem to want to cast that all the time. But he does defeat it eventually, and continues on. So NESCardinality gets another level. We have 4 power, 6 speed, 0 hit points, and 19 MP. So that'll help with the healing as far as exploration goes. But still nothing really offensive. BT gets his own taste of the Fun Police, and unfortunately, it's not a very good taste. You go back home right away. It is very difficult to leave the starting peninsula, it looks like. A lot of guardians who do not wish to let you through. Having the heal more spell is great, but when you can't even run from an enemy and they can kill you in 1 or 2 hits, it really doesn't do a whole lot for you, unfortunately. Pardon me, it's past Sparko's bedtime. There may be some yawns. I apologize for making everybody yawn in turn. So we're just shimmying on through the land. BT defeats the Warlock and gets to level 6. It really depends how the level goes to determine what that actually means for your lead. Like, if you can learn Hurt More or something right away, that can definitely be very good for you. But if it takes a very long time for things to build, it all depends on how your strategy is. And right now you can definitely see that both runners are just itching to get out away from the starting field and find something new. They're both very skilled players. you never know how it's going to turn out. So again, by a green dragon this time, NESCardinality is sent home, and BT finds an Armored Knight and manages to run from it. Armored Knights are definitely one of the hardest enemies to run from, but BT did get away right away. Yeah, as I said before, Warlocks are definitely in vanilla frightening because they have the sleep spell, but in Randomizer, if they don't have one of their spells, they can actually be quite good to fight against. Because they don't have that high HP or attack power. So as long as they have no scary spells, they definitely can be very valuable. But as we can see, our runners are really itching to go for a run. Looks like NESCardinality will be checking out the cave down here again. I believe what I saw was Tablet, but it is not Tablet because we've got some enemies, which is impossible in there. So this will be the mountain cave then. That was the other option. I guess we just didn't get an encounter at first. So NESCardinality actually finds a metal slime in the mountain cave. Always kind of scary when you can see one right away, right close to start, but it did run from him right away. So down in the mountain cave here, we have 5 chests. And also of note, after this mountain cave, NESCardinality could potentially make a gold grind happen. Speaking of gold, there is a gold chest. I do not recall if there was a silver shield in Rimuldar or not, but there definitely was. I know I saw a flame sword, so that could be in his mind. But either way, whether or not you're even planning to do a gold grind, having the exploration through the mountain cave is pretty valuable. You get 5 chests, and it is one of the shorter caves. Meanwhile, on the overworld, BT finds a cave, and it is the Staff of Rain cave. So here, you will take the Silver Harp to exchange for the Staff of Rain, one of the key items you need to get the rainbow drop. So, meanwhile, on the other side of the map, the screen, NESCardinality finds Eric's token, another one of the key items, and let's see. And I got a sudden pocket of lag through that other one, unfortunately. So we've reached level 8. We get 3 power, 2 speed, 10 hit points, 2 magic, and the Hurt More spell. So this is definitely going to help open up a lot of things for NESCardinality, who just found some wings. So Hurt More is definitely one of the very anticipated spells to get. Unfortunately, the red dragon, you cannot fight with it. But most of the other enemies you can. So that'll definitely help open up the exploration for him. Looks like he almost pondered doing a gold grind and then figured not to do so. My guess on that is probably that he realized the Flame Sword is what is there, and once you've learned the Hurt More spell, the Flame Sword becomes a lot less relevant. Because now, most enemies he can take out in 1 hit, possibly 2 for some of them, and he's essentially safe against probably 90% of the enemy pool. It looks like the Repel spell was also picked up at the time. So that's also nice to learn with Hurt More. So the Repel spell will keep weaker enemies away from you based on your agility, and that's very valuable once you're able to take out most enemies in 1 hit. So I believe level 8 is, level 8 is at 600 experience, so let's see how close BT is. I know that he is at level 7. But I will not be able to know until we see a menu or a battle, which will show the menu. Got a little bit of blurry writing here, but I want to assume that is 365. So a little ways to go for BT before the hurt more, but this is definitely going to help open things up a lot. This is where you really want to get your... You can't call it go mode, but you're definitely where you start to go. Anyway, one moment here, it's hydration time. Please everybody stay hydrated when you are going to be talking for over an hour. It's a very good idea. So BT, unfortunately sent home again, is just under 200 experience to get to the next level. TME asks in chat, how do you know it's hydration time without Hydration Bot? Well, it's because I'm Sparkover, and if any of you have known me for a little while, you will know that I have been telling you to stay hydrated for years now, before Hydration Bot was a thing. Not to be one of those people that says, oh, I did this before I was cool, but I have been trying to, you know, tell good habits to people for a while now, so please take care of yourselves, folks. It's important. So NESCardinality zooming along through the map now, trying to run from things like Stone Man, where Hurt More isn't nearly as effective as others. With Heal More and Hurt More, you really can get a lot done. Of course, the side effect of Heal More costing 8 MP really does take up a lot of your resources, and isn't always worth it, in theory, when you don't have very high health. It still helps a lot when it comes to exploring around. So, let me think. We have found Erdrick's token, and I believe that is the first item yet. I don't believe we saw the bottom chest of the mountain cave yet. But I feel like NESCardinality probably thinks that it's very close to home, so that even if he did skip it, it would be very easy to get if it becomes necessary. Whereas now that he had hurt more, exploring the map is a lot easier. So meanwhile, BT has just crept up above 500 experience points. The Wolf Lord will take him to 555, looks like. So just a couple more enemies, and then BT will also be receiving Hurt More. And we will see where the seed will take him. Waiting for NESCardinality to show me the menu. I believe I saw, and I am correct, NESCardinality actually did sneak up to level 9 without me seeing. The experience definitely just does come so fast as soon as you get Hurt More. Because as I said, you're killing most enemies in one hit, so that definitely does add up quite fast. So NESCardinality discovers the cave that we already know is the Staff of Rain cave. Will not be able to do anything there yet, but we'll take a note of it for the future. BT at 567 now. Looking like he's choosing to grind in this area for now. Perhaps it's some sort of compelling enemy to find. It's not the Rogue Scorpion, though, as he tries to run from that. But given that we know that Hurt More is coming in the next level, I would say that it's a good decision. Unfortunately, the Scorpion does some Dragon Lord breath for him, and he is sent back home. And NESCardinality is also sent back home. Running out of MP will not allow you to heal anymore, so he will also be headed back. BT, I don't believe has checked out the basement yet. Looks like he will now. Yeah, I don't believe we did see that Scorpions had Dragon Lord breath before, so surprise! And yes, real deal, DePiro, we beat our goal. We are very thankful for all the support we got today. It's been fantastic. So once again, just a big thank you to everybody. It's been, you know, it's just amazing again to see like the communities come together of all of us different streamers, you know, for a good cause. And putting on this event is always a lot of fun. It's definitely a lot of work, but it's just so rewarding to know that we, you know, are coming together for the good cause and that everybody is here to support us and help us out. So BT is taking on a metal slime. It hasn't run from him yet. I think he's gotten 3 attacks in so far. I mean, 2 attacks rather. 3 is what you need. And BT has defeated the metal slime. That will get him to level 8. And definitely will help a little bit with the catch-up. Again, having 1 metal slime is not super advantageous once you have Hurt More, but now that he does have the Hurt More spell, he will be able to get a lot more exploration going. So now we'll just see where the 2 different runners are taken. NESCardinality venturing out on a swamp. Swamp takes away 2 damage per tile you step on. When you get Erdrick's armor, you will no longer take damage from that. However, that armor can only be in 1 of 3 different places, of none we have discovered yet. So let's see. Another case of the Fun Police sending them back home. In the Dragon Warrior Randomizer community, we have a beautiful name for the Fun Police. Or rather, the Red Dragons, which is the Fun Police. Because if you're having fun, they'll just come by and stop you from it. They'll say no more. So NESCardinality, walking south, he is getting dangerously close to the bottom of his paper there. I don't know, folks. What are we gonna do on NESCardinality cam? He'll go travel upwards in hopes of having space. We'll see what technique he chooses to use. I'm sure he has a backup plan. Though he does find a little peninsula. We're getting dangerously close, folks. What do we do? Hopefully, though, soon the runners will find something else of interest. There hasn't been a whole lot so far. I think the only thing we found away from home is the Staff of Rain Cave so far. So you've got to think soon. Something's got to pop up. So BT gets to level 9. I believe NESCardinality is like 1 enemy away from the next level, though. Oh, so NESCardinality finds Sharlock. There is the castle that we will be headed to at the end of this. And just south of Sharlock is a cave. So you'll notice how there is a moat and 1 tile that you can walk through, but unfortunately, you need to build a bridge. Another cave. Alright, so the first cave is what we lovingly call the Jerk Cave. You exchange the Stones of Sunlight, Staff of Rain, and Erdrick's token there to build the Rainbow Drop that you will be using to get into that castle just north. Though, if you go in and do not have Erdrick's token, he will boot you out. I missed his movement there. I want to assume that was either Swamp... That has to be Swamp Cave or Grave, though. Because I think I saw him head down a wee bit. And we've found a town. And it is the town of Cantlin. Lord of the Synth says, look like the grave. Yeah, I definitely saw a heading down back to the stairs movement, but I don't know. We will find out later. Anyway, for now, we have the town of Cantlin. You can heal here. You have many options for purchasing weapons and armor. And also there's a man who will give you some coordinates. The coordinates will lead you to a search spot where you will have a chance of finding either the token, which we've already found, so it will not be there, Erdrick's armor, or the fairy flute, which is an item that can be used to fight the golems. We'll note on BT's screen we have just found Sherlock here. They are in very close quarters. Right behind. So, the man behind here is giving some very difficult tiles to walk through to get to him. So let's see, thou must go and fight. Go forth, descendant of Erdrick. That means there is actually no search spot. So now we know, pardon me, that the Erdrick's armor is going to be either in the town of Hawksness or Cole. So we will be looking for those. So looks like BT is going through the grave in the dark. And looks like BT is leaving the grave. NESCardinality looks in the item shop. He purchases the chainmail instead of the leather armor. And a small shield. Meanwhile, BT also goes to town to do some shopping. I assume he was looking for a torch. And he definitely was. So maybe now we shall see if the players decide to go back into the grave or try elsewhere. They do have the outside spell. Oh, and unfortunately I did miss the level 10. They just sneak away without me. So both players high-fiving each other in and out of the inn. And then BT will take the pilgrimage for the coordinates. And will, of course, get the same news. Rose Cavalier tells me in chat it sounds like each stat was double digits. That's pretty impressive. Though I think kind of based on what we've seen so far, it's not too... You know, someone would say we were due for it. I understand that's not how it works. There's sort of a curve of how the stats work. So if you get many levels that have a very low stat, you would kind of expect to get a bigger level. But that isn't always the case, as we have definitely seen in some seeds. So NESCardinality does go back into our mystery cave, which is 100% confirmed now to be the grave. There are 3 treasure chests on top, and we will find out what is in them. One is empty, that means it's either a key or an herb. There is some gold, and there is some more gold. BT is playing as the Link sprite, because that was one of the donation incentives. Though to be fair, BT always plays as Link, so... It almost seems natural. This is a new one from NESCardinality, though, who I believe has never played with a custom sprite before. But why not introduce him to a beautiful sprite like Talon? So we will be looking down the bottom of the grave. Again, these 2 racers are just about in the same spot right now. I think the only difference is their experience is still taken apart a little bit. But we will see how the rest of this goes. Hydration is still important, folks. But yeah, there are very many custom sprites for the Dragon Warrior Randomizer program. I believe it has all of the main characters, the main playable characters from Dragon Warrior 1 to 4. It's got Link, Mario, Luigi, some Final Fantasy sprites. There are probably a few more. The enemy palettes themselves are not randomized, however the enemy zones are. But no, the enemies all do look the same. So both players making their way down the grave. However, NESCardinality has stumbled upon level 11, so we get 24 power, 1 speed, 9 hit points, 5 MP, and a spell, which was something new. The fact is, we've already got Heal More and Hurt More, so I might forget from time to time what their newer found spells are, just because Heal More and Hurt More really are the 2 major spells you're looking for. There are a lot of other good spells that definitely have very good uses, and I'm always super happy to find, but as far as commentators go, I usually look for the Heal More and Hurt More. So we found another empty chest where the curse spell traditionally is. Again, would be an herb or a key, though I believe at this point it has to be an herb because you had to use a key to get in here. And on BT's side, it does confirm it was an herb. So both players just... BT not too far stepwise behind NESCardinality. He's definitely caught up in exploration. However, I don't believe he has seen most of the mountain cave chests. I'm pretty sure when I did see him get the metal slime, he went zoom out of the cave, so that might be a future consideration for him. Unfortunately for him, the wyvern puts him to sleep, breathes fire on him, and will be sending him back home. And yes, as Slow Guy is Slow is saying in chat, enemy zones are random as well as spells. Blue dragons can have, or rather, blue slimes can have Dragon Lord Breath. Anything can have Dragon Lord Breath. You can find the miracle metal slime and find that it can put you to sleep and send you home faster than you would believe. So, looks like now BT is reconsidering the mountain cave. Perhaps we will get to see what is the bottom chest. So over on NESCardinality's side, it looks like he is setting up a gold grind. When you're already wearing the scale of the dragon, you can try and equip it in battle, and it counts as an action. So if you want to make a death warp happen very easily, you can do that. And I believe we're probably going to see some money printing going on down here. So, totally throwing off the economy of Alefgard. We are being asked in chat if only a set number of enemies can roll Dragon Lord Breath, but I'm pretty sure every enemy has the same chance of having Dragon Lord Breath, other than the Dragon Lord himself, which, of course, is... he will always have it. I could not imagine a Dragon Lord without the Dragon Lord Breath. What would the point be? So, NESCardinality has activated the gold glitch. We will see how much money he is trying to make here so that he can buy some new equipment. Silver Shield is the most commonly grinded out one, but I could also see a Flame Sword being a thing, possibly magic armor. I didn't pay attention to every single thing that he saw in Cantlin. But we will find out soon. So BT now, I believe, going down to the bottom chest on the mountain cave. Sorry, he had to get this one first. So BT would now have Erdrick's token. And looks like NESCardinality is going for the full gold grind. He, after this, should have enough money to buy the best items possibly to be purchased. The Silver Shield, Flame Sword, and Magic Armor. Oh my! So BT has found Erdrick's sword in the mountain cave. No, that's a glitch. BT has activated a glitch, and I'm not sure what item he just picked up. Fun times. So let's see here. He got the torch from this bottom chest. Unfortunately, I missed what came out of the other chest. I am not sure if that was a sword or not, but one day we will find out, and we will be wiser people. And based on BT's walking back this way, I think there's a chance he might do the gold grind as well. And now I don't believe I've ever seen the Flame Sword appear before in the gold glitch text, but that's a new one. Could that be a premonition? And NESCardinality finds the Harp Knight in the chest that BT just found the so-called Erdrick sword in. This makes it very difficult for your commentator to catch up on everything. And now, apparently, NESCardinality has found Erdrick's armor inside a chest. I'm calling shenanigans... pardon me. I'm calling shenanigans on that, seeing as, you cannot find the armor inside a treasure chest. So finally, NESCardinality goes to the store and is purchasing a flame sword. And nothing else, leading me to believe we might be walking to Catlin. And it also looks like BT is doing a very large grind. Probably we will see the same thing that NESCardinality is doing. So we might just go back on a little tour of what we've seen of Alefgard. This is fine though. So NESCardinality, face to face with the fun police, runs without even hesitation. So the way this gold glitch works is that the game can only store up to 8 treasure chests in its memory. 3 of them are in this treasure room that BT is actually in. So once you open a 9th treasure chest, you are able to continuously open it and take out its contents forever. Essentially the way that it's done is when you walk onto the overworld, the chest memory is cleared, which in theory, you should never be able to open up more than 8 chests. But by doing a death warp, you are able to go over that 8 and therefore can exploit the gold chests. This is used in the vanilla manipulation, or the non-manipulated vanilla run. So, of course, it is utilized in Randomizer. Like, on that note, in the vanilla run, you can only get 6 to 13 gold, I believe it is. It's a very slow grind. In the Randomizer, your treasure chests are from a low, I believe 525-ish gold to 725-ish, somewhere in there, so your gold grind goes a lot faster. So we're probably about to see some very well-dressed heroes on the way. BT unfortunately held up a little bit by the skeleton, but is able to defeat him right away. Yes, the non-manipulated Dragon Warrior route does 20 minutes of gold grinding, approximately. It's a long grind. The chests actually are randomized. There is no guarantee that there will be a gold chest in the treasury. So again, it's just up to random distribution to decide whether or not it is there. You can have multiple chests, you can have no chests. Or rather, you can always have chests, but whether or not there is gold in the chest, that is the randomized part. You could have a treasury full of all key items, which in theory is great because they're all in one place, but then you can't gold grind for your equipment. Thankfully, it's not entirely necessary to do a gold grind. The most powerful sword and armor you actually get for free. Sword that you find in a treasure chest and the armor that you find in a search spot. The only thing that you cannot find for free is a shield. There are 3 different shields, the silver shield being the most expensive one by far. The large shield is the most economical choice, I would say, at only 800 gold. However, if you are doing a gold grind, it definitely is probably worth your time to get the silver shield if you're grinding for anything else, as it is. So NESCardinality looping back to where we remember Catlin is. We will have to find out what else he chooses to purchase. I still do assume BT is headed in the same direction. They're relatively safe with their heal more. However, stone men, they're very pesky. Statistically, it should be an easy run, I think, at this point, but they are being awful. So NESCardinality is very close to Canlin. The green dragon is not letting him run, though, but is able to run. He's got no MP left to heal, but he does have some herbs. So he uses them for safely so he can get to the town. And we will see what he purchases. probably nothing from this store here. He is looking for silver shield and magic armor. And to replenish his herbs, I'm assuming from this shop over here. Will he go south and buy some radishes? Probably not. That's generally not something that you will see in the speedrun. So it definitely looks like BT is headed the same way. I think I may have seen that he's out of MP, possibly having some very unlucky run luck here. He is very close though, so if he can just clear these last couple screens, he'll be able to make it at the same spot. So down here, NESCardinality buys the silver shield, and now has the greatest shield in the game. Just a few more squares for BT, and he finds a green dragon who back attacks. Fortunately, the hurt spell doesn't do too much damage to you, but running from the green dragon is still a problem. He does get away though, keeps walking, and makes it to Cantlin. So NESCardinality I just saw go down to that shop and not buy anything. I'm assuming full plate is the best armor you can find from this town. I believe the full plate has the exact same defense as the magic armor, just doesn't include the magical properties of hurt more reduction, and the magic armor does heal 1 HP every 4 steps you take. But in a situation like this, I can definitely feel like getting the full plate is not a bad decision. So we have another level, 14 power, 1 speed, 10 hit points, 12 MP, and another spell. Thank you, Tiemi and Lord of the Sith, for the confirmation. I will be honest, I am not always the very best with remembering all the numbers, but I will try. Look at that, 50 minutes and 50 seconds into the race. It's water time. Remember to hydrate, everybody. So NESCardinality, I believe this is a new cave we're finding, and it's another dark one. I think we're in Swamp South, because if you can cast outside, you will go outside Swamp North, and this is a different location. And right outside the north side of the town, he finds the town of Gardenham. Sorry, outside the Swamp Cave he finds the town. So we'll check the armor shop for the magic armor, and there is some. He only needs about 400 more gold to be able to purchase that armor. Maybe a consideration, but does not go. There is a chance that there will be some treasure chests in here that have some money. And let's see, we find 1 key to replenish the one he just opened. Something empty, meaning probably herbs or keys, and a silver harp. The map is being drawn because this is how NESCardinality plays. On his own stream, whenever he does a randomizer race, he has the map camera on. And so that was one of our donation incentives. So the Gardenham chests themselves did not have any money, but he does find the Stones of Sunlight Cave. And I believe that should have been enough for the magic armor, but that doesn't seem to be something he is considering right now. Surprises me a little bit, but that is his own decision. He chooses to keep going on, and he finds another town, another 2 towns, and a cave. So this is the town of Hawksness. 50-50 chance that you will be finding the Erdrick's armor here. The other town being Cole. So I believe we have 3 more towns, or 2 more towns to find after this. One of them is already on the map. So there is an enemy here sitting on that tree spot behind the broken shop. The broken shop, yes. The entire town is broken. He should be able to take on, I think, any enemy, considering that he has heal more and hurt more. And he finds the Stone Man. Probably one of the least good enemies to find in this situation. But with his new flame sword, oh wow, he is a lot stronger than I realized. Yes, he's definitely got this Stone Man. And so we will see. We could either find the Fairy Flute, Erdrick's armor, or nothing here in the search spot. And there is nothing, so we're guaranteed to find Eric's armor in coal. Meanwhile, BT has discovered the swamp cave as well, and walks over to the other side and will assumedly be around the same position here. He chooses to check out the swamp direction first, but finds nothing, so upon turning around, he will find the same things over here. Of note, BT still does have enough money for the magic armor, so I'm sure, will be purchasing that. We find the last of the dark caves, the tablet cave. It has no enemies in it and one chest, so always worth checking out if you're still looking for something. So BT purchases the magic armor, now has the advantage in equipment for now. And at the bottom of the tablet cave, we find the Stones of Sunlight. So NESCardinality has almost all of the key items. He does have the silver harp, which he must exchange for the Staff of Rain. But he does know where that cave is. And the other town is Breckenry. Not very well known for people liking it. It's got a very cheap inn though, but unfortunately it has no key items here, so it will be not quite as exciting for him though. Again, a cheap place to heal up. Oh, we got a little peek of our stats there. I think I saw 89 strength there. And 60-something agility, I believe I saw. So NESCardinality exploring the second island here. We assume it is an island. There is a chance the swamp cave just connects a giant continent together, but I find more often than not it is connecting two different islands. So I believe this town we have on NESCardinality's side is guaranteed to be coal. I don't believe there are any other towns to find. So this has been a very useful item. But no, Mr. Holmes, the Garanham didn't have the Stones of Sunlight. That was in the tablet cave. It did have keys though. Keys are key. Alright, so I had a very laggy screen unfortunately right there, but we already know that he did pick up Erdrick's armor there, so I can safely say that that is what he picked up there. Unfortunately, due to a little bit of lag on my portion, I didn't actually verify it. But look, he'll walk in some swamp. Come on, NESCardinality, show me some swamp. Ah, silver harp. That would do it. I have no memory. So BT now finds out that Hawksness does not have anything in it. But I want to believe that this path is going to take him to the same spot. I'm trying to think my way through the rest of this island. I don't believe that NESCardinality has any reason to be on this place. I think we have seen everything now, actually. Unless I'm forgetting something important, I believe we can verify that the sword is in Sherlock. I'm trying to just go over everything in my head right now, and yeah, I believe that NESCardinality actually does have everything. And BT isn't very far behind. Yeah, the original Dragon Warrior vanilla is definitely a lot of grinding. So let's check our experience here. I've got some blur here, but I believe BT actually has surpassed NESCardinality in experience. And the only difference is that BT has a couple key items to catch up on, but he is in the exact correct spot to make this happen. I believe we did see the bottom item of the mountain cave, actually. Unfortunately, the gold glitch was in effect, so I never did find out exactly what it was. But I know we have seen it. So it looks like NESCardinality is going into the swamp cave to see what the grind tile item is there. Oh right, it was a torch! Thank you, I am slightly forgetful. I do remember it was not a key item though. Yeah, so... NESCardinality is fighting the Armored Knight now, which is on the grind title here. Tile. Words. Words are difficult, but we do our best. The Armored Knight you can use the Hurt more on, so that can be very compelling as far as fighting. Meanwhile, BT picks up the Stones of Sunlight and does wish to pick it up, for it is a key item. And so let's look at our stats here. NESCardinality casts Heal more and chooses to fight some more. They're looking for a certain ratio between their attack power versus heal mores to try and make sure that they can kill the Dragon Lord successfully. So BT, we know if you will just go a little bit further to the west, you will find coal in your magic armor, or rather Erdrick's armor, and you will be back into the same spot. So as we can see, NESCardinality will definitely have a little bit more of an advantage now where he is landing directly on enemies over and over. But BT did make a very good comeback so far, so we will be excited to see what the rest of the race brings us. Did you know that I'm Sparkover and I'm great at talking? Because I sure knew that. Yeah, I believe right now BT is going a little bit far away from where Cole is. However, I feel like the map is going to lead him over to where Cole is. In fact, it's right there, so... We do have a red dragon to deal with it, but we do know that it's very possible to deal with. We've got lots of heal mores to get us through this point. Yeah, Lord of the Synth is predicting a 1,000 experience lead on BT. Looks like it might be a wee bit less just because he has to go back to heal right now. But, regardless, yes, there is a lead. And so at this point, it might just depend on how it comes down to how they feel about the level to fight the Dragon Lord at. From what I've seen, BT definitely seems to like diving a little earlier than NESCardinality definitely does. But you never know how that will play out in a race situation. He does cast Return right away, though, BT, so it looks like he's ready to get his items in before getting the grind. Yes, I am pretty sure that we can guarantee that the sword is in Sherlock. I believe we've seen every single other torch in, so that could also be on everybody's mind. Everybody's. All two of our runners' minds. And as we can recall the... words. The words! The Staff of Rain Cave is not too far away from going to the Castle of Sherlock, and the Jerk Cave is right underneath it, so pretty accessible. I don't believe there were any towns... Oh, never mind. Callan was actually quite close to Sherlock as well, so it's your one-stop shop. And once again, our runners are very close to each other, both going on the same errands. Yeah, NESCardinality is going to be, after this fight, I think, probably 2 enemies away from the next level, but possibly 1, depending on what he finds, of course. Very close, though. I believe 5600 is the number we're looking at. I'm Sparkover, and I play with charts for everything, so if I make a number wrong, my apologies. Very close, though, to the next level. 5625 is what rings a bell in my head. Yeah, we still don't have enough HP for that death necklace option yet. It all depends on what the next level is going to bring, and I believe we are getting close to that. Oh, never mind. NESCardinality had gotten a level, and I had missed, unfortunately. Oh, Sparko. Very close together here right now, though. We've got the Jerk Cave right next to Sherlock, and we have Cantland where you can heal up and go inside. And we know our sword is in there, so it all depends on how our runners decide to attack Sherlock. If they choose to dive for the sword with using MP and then coming out again to heal, or trying to retain your MP and just grab the sword on the way in. Both of the strategies can definitely have their own good points. It all depends on what the runners feel comfortable with. So BT is now going to be changing his Staff of Rain in for the, or rather his Silver Harpin for the Staff of Rain, and will have all the things necessary to make the rainbow drop. And so NESCardinality does a little dance, realizing that you actually do need a rainbow drop, so we're able to build a bridge. But then very soon, we will see what is going to be happening in Sherlock. Meanwhile, BT catches up to level 14. It's about 1,000 experience behind NESCardinality at this point. Again, it really depends on how they feel about their stats and how they choose to attack Sherlock. So BT just making his way around the corner with NESCardinality going into Sherlock. And turning the wrong way. No, it actually probably just does mean he does want to grind a little bit. Probably wanted to stay in the area. BT looks at his stats and thinks, how committed am I to going down there without using any MP? And of course the answer right now is he definitely does need to heal before he will go in, if that is his choice. So looks like fighting a little bit more is definitely the right answer for now. At least on NESCardinality's side. I have to admit, I haven't gotten a good look at all of the stats together, but looks like the MP is very low, so yeah, they're definitely going to need to grind a little bit more. So golems are pesky and have heal more, but when you can stop that spell, it really is not so bad. At that point, it's just a free turn for you. So NESCardinality is currently leaving Sherlock, and BT goes into the Swamp Cave. I don't know if he knows what the enemy is there yet, but I feel like the Armored Knight would probably make him happy with that. Though, first he finds another Metal Slime. He gets 2 hits on it, but the Metal Slime does run away, so no beans there. I am curious if NESCardinality is also going to choose to go back to there. He already does know an Armored Knight is there, so he does know that's good. And it is pretty close to towns on either side to be able to heal up. Now, let's hydrate. That was lovely. So NESCardinality is heading back into Sherlock, it appears. And might be making a dive, we shall see. He's about 500 experience away from the next level. Though unfortunately, because the MP is so low, you would really need a lot of attack power to be able to overcome that and not have to leave Sherlock to use MP. I feel like I want to assume he will be using MP in this case just because he probably wouldn't expect the next level to be the correct one, but I could also be a little bit off in where their attack power is. Meanwhile, BT is still fighting away in the swamp cave, does find another metal slime, but I don't believe he's been able to handle a hit yet, and as I say that, he does hit one, and he hits it twice. So one more hit and he will defeat the metal slime, and that does happen. The second slime of the seed for BT. Meanwhile, NESCardinality descends into the darkness, but thankfully has Erdrick's torch to light the way. So I definitely feel like at this point we're probably going to be seeing a level very soon on both players' sides, though NESCardinality is going to have the proximity to the sword working with him. BT finds another metal slime and is able to take it out. Is one enemy away from the next level, so we will see what that brings. We did get a small peek at the NESCardinality stat window, but unfortunately I caught none of that information. So let's see what level 15 brings. And on that note, BT is definitely in the experience lead now. So we get 12 power, 4 speed, 8 hit points, and 8 MP. And he casts outside right away. I want to assume that is enough for him. Again, I could be a little bit wrong in what their attack power is, but with the immediate action, oh, that actually does also take us to the ability to use the death necklace safely. So that definitely could also be a factor, again, without being able to immediately see the stats to look at them. I apologize, I can't really offer much more insight, but I feel like with the immediate action, that could definitely be in play here. BT comes across another metal slime, and is actually hitting for 2 now. When you get up to a certain attack power, you can start to hit the metal slimes for more, eventually to the point where you could even kill them in one hit. So yeah, their attack power is definitely very high right now, especially considering BT doesn't even have Erdrick's sword yet. So yeah, this should be heading down there for him. Meanwhile, NESCardinality is making his way down to find Erdrick's sword. Hasn't actually gotten the next level yet, but with the Star Wyvern that he is fighting, that will get him the needed level. So I suppose if their attack power is quite high, it could be a potential for him to stay down there and defeat the Dragon Lord if he can hang on to the rest of his MP. It really does just depend on exactly where the items fall. And I just realized my chat was not scrolling at all. Apologies for that. But yes, as questioning in chat about the taking the princess to the Dragon Lord, that is Dragon Quest race coming up as the final run of the marathon. Zarnax does bring up the good point in chat that if there were some coordinates that were impossible to count, it would not be good for race safety. Some counters like me, they definitely need to have their princess. So NESCardinality opens 2 chests in Sherlock Castle, the Treasury, and finds the Erdrick sword and the Fighter's Ring right off the bat. And as we're seeing no casts of outside, I really have to assume at this point that, based on whatever stats he has, he is ready for the Dragon Lord. It doesn't even need to heal up any MP. I like Zarnax's way in chat to save Gwaelin. Don't save, use the GPS, and then reset and collect the treasure without her. That would be really ambitious, but that actually would be the most marathon-safe way to guarantee you could take the Gwaelin to the Dragon Lord. 146 attack power, alright. Well, based on my very quick Sparko math memory here, I want to assume you want approximately 8 heal mores for that. 7 or 8, that number sounds about right to me. I could be off by 1. But he's definitely got how many? 9. So, yeah, you are sitting pretty right there in NESCardinality. So if that is the case, this should be a pretty safe Dragon Lord fight. And he chooses to put on the Death Necklace. So his attack power is even more ridiculous at this point now. So the Dragon Lord offers you half the world, you say no, and you are a fool. So the Dragon Lord, one fight, he will cast either Stop Spell, attack you, or cast Hurt More. You want the Stop Spells so that you take no damage, of course, but he will try and out-herb it until Dragon Lord some Stop Spell on you. It will not always work, but definitely if you have the herbs, you do want to try that, or at least wait for the small attack power. So the Dragon Lord reveals his true self, and the fight will begin. Luckily enough, does not get a back attack. And is even able to get a couple attacks in the beginning. That is lovely. Meanwhile, BT is making his way down to the bottom of Sherlock. He definitely made a very good job of catching up, I want to say. I feel like in the middle there, just whatever happened along the way, it was definitely more far apart in the beginning of the game than the two of them are now. I could be wrong on that analysis. But either way, he even did manage to secure the experience lead. So definitely good job to both of our runners. NESCardinality, of course, still has not officially won. But aside from a menuing error, we definitely, I think at this point, we will assume that it's a pretty safe Dragon Lord fight. And he has defeated the Dragon Lord. Radiant streams forth, and he finds the Ball of Light. All he is left to do is go home and talk to the king. So get your GGs out in chat for NESCardinality. Based on when the timer will end here, I say he finished in 1 hour, 17 minutes, and approximately 38 seconds. BT on the last floor of the Sherlock Castle now. Not very far behind at all. Definitely a really good race put up between both runners. I was definitely really amused by the parts where both of the runners seem to be within a few steps of each other for quite a lot of the run. Yes, the two of these runners are playing together in the same room. They are separated by a piece of plywood. It sounds very funny, but it's functional. And, as of note, again, one more time, just as a reminder, they were both playing with no sound. We were unable to get sound on one of the televisions, so the runners made an agreement for neither of them to use sound, so none would get the advantage of being able to bonk through caves. Ooh, excuse me. That was not for the stream. So BT grabs Erdrick's sword, doesn't even look for the fighter's ring. It's definitely not necessary at this point, I am sure. I believe BT actually does even have 1 extra heal more, so, I mean, super cozy fight here. So let's cheer BT on as he will be talk to the Dragon Lord shortly. As far as the post-race interview would go, you would need to confer with the downstairs crew, as I am upstairs and far away. It was very interesting, getting set up to be able to have an in-person randomizer race with commentary, all in the same location. But, our crew made it work. We've got a bunch of lovely people working behind the scenes here. Trank89, who we very much thank for hosting the marathon and helping out with so much of the setup behind the scenes to just make things go. Definitely shout-outs to him for just, you know, being such a big part in making this happen. BT makes very quick work of the Axe Knight, is actually very close to the next level, so he might just choose to get it for fun, because who doesn't want to have fun? We're having fun. One more Axe Knight, I believe, and then he will be getting to level 16. And he gets an excellent move, killing the Axe Knight in one attack. For fun, let's see what we get. No power at all, 11 agility, 5 hit points, and 8 MP. In theory, another heal more. However, you do not heal your MP down at the bottom of the Charlotte Castle. And with that, BT puts on the death necklace. Thy body is being squeezed. And he will talk to the Dragon Lord. And he is a fool. So as we've seen, super cozy fight with the Dragon Lord here. Other than an input put in improperly by accident, it's a guaranteed fight, I would say. It's probably technically possible to lose it, but math says probably not. So again, just trying to out-herb the Dragon Lord as he's a bugger. However, we do know that there are a lot of extra heal mores here, so that isn't even a huge concern at the moment. And of course, in bad luck, we get back attacked by the Dragon Lord and have to burn a heal more right away. Again, not an issue at all in this, but always just kind of burns a little bit, much like that fire. Very powerful though, even without the extra attack power of level 16 as it offered 0. We still know it's a very strong fight. Their strength is quite through the roof. And very soon, we will have BT also getting the Ball of Light. The Dragon Lord will definitely try his best, but I think that will not be successful. So probably just a few more attacks on BT's end over here. So definitely very good race from both of our racers. Unfortunately, I do not have a timer going on here, as it would stop when NESCardinality did finish, but very close race for the two of them. And with that, BT has defeated the Dragon Lord. Radiant streams forth, and the world has been saved. Anyway, it's been a lot of fun to commentate this race. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. I will be passing us back on to the downstairs crew, and I will talk to you all soon.
Well, certainly, I'm happy to do whatever you guys want.
Is this thing on?
The mic is on again.
Is that right side up now? The map?
The map, I believe, is up again, yeah. Okay, alright, so we have the runners who are able to speak again.
We're able to speak again.
Should we
Hey!
have any questions for them?
I'm just gonna mention, in case it wasn't mentioned before, one of the TVs we were using was without sound, so we decided to, both of us, play without sound the entire time. And so, the mountain cave at the beginning, we didn't have a light source, but after I got a few levels, I just decided to do it anyway, and it actually worked out pretty well. And then I found a torch in one of the top left chests. It was kind of funny. Then I found out there were metal slimes, and if I had just gone at the beginning, I actually would have gone in the dark, and I probably would have killed one.
Seed would have been much faster with bonks allowed.
Yep.
We should have just done 1 seed, 2 player, 1 controller. That would have been optimal.
I love ideas like that.
The merging is complete.
I hope I could control the D-pad.
Yeah, definitely. That would be the crit timing, because of my insane luck.
That would be scary if like, I think I should run from an enemy and you think we should fight it. Fight to go down first.
Command. Question from chat, where is the Journey to Celia's victory music? NESCAR bonk, NESCAR bonk, NESCAR bonk, NESCAR bonk, NESCAR bonk. Darn it, I missed it. Who played as Talon?
I was Talon.
NESCardinality played as Talon, I played as Lunk.
Yeah, I heard the sprite choices and I said, well, BT has to be Link. Me being Talon is very appropriate. That was my favorite chapter from Dragon Warrior 4 as a
GG
kid.
Zarnax. Ghosts and Scorpions had deal, bro.
Really? I fought a ton of ghosts and like a lot of two-shots.
Oh,
got breathed.
okay, so the whole beginning of the game I was getting breathed by ghosts, and then one of them stop-spelled me and I killed him. Another one attacked me and stop-spelled me and I killed him. That's how I got like above 40 experience early on.
So they were 25. And Scorpions, I two-shot a couple and never got breath.
And Magic Drakeys, of course, had heal more.
That I didn't know either. I just knew they had weak breath, so either they killed me or eventually I one-shot.
Yeah, I was hitting them for 4 with a broadsword early on. And because I was just wandering around and noticed I had 57 gold, I was like, oh crap, I should buy a key. So I had to run from everything and buy a key. This race was not on SRL due to pure laziness and nothing else. We totally could have got on to SRL, but no. This was just for the pride and glory of proving once and for all that Canada is better at Dragon Warrior. I'm sorry, United States. I have failed you, but I played as the away team, which, as everyone knows, is a huge disadvantage. We must rematch stateside in the Kaunas in the future.
Also, he was on the right, so he couldn't use his right arm to do this.
True. I had to punch the wall. Alright.
I'm gonna show BT my map now. I didn't go left on the swamp thing, and I didn't go left past the swamp cave.
Yeah, that's everything. Yeah, I knew where everything was pretty quick. I actually died on the way down of Garen's grave, so I don't know what that bottommost chest was.
Oh.
And I was really lucky that it was not important.
It was gold? Yeah, I did not get the last mountain cave chest, and then I came back 3 levels later.
But I did set up the gold grind in that death. So I was gold grind through the mountain cave. I used the death from Garen to clear the mountain cave. That's when I got my mountain cave metal slime.
I did my gold grind out of the grave, and the whole time I was thinking, why am I death warping away from this wonderful location that's miles away from the start? I hadn't even checked the Cantlin shops. I'm like, this is
I was very disappointed when I found Hawk's Nest, and I searched the tile, and there was just nothing. I just knew everything in that moment. I was like, oh. Because I found the coordinates guy super early, too.
I had heal more when I found him, but I had like 61 HP.
Yeah,
2 heal more.
about the same level. 64, I think.
Yeah, so I think the token was in...
I don't know. It was during my gold grind. So I was chest glitching, and I found Erdrick's sword, but it was not Erdrick's sword.
I found Erdrick's armor in the grave, but it was not Erdrick's armor. Or sorry, in the mountain cave.
I also found the flame sword
nice.
in a box. So I got 2 swords in boxes, but neither of them were swords.
That's amazing. I found Erdrick's armor and the Harp Knight.
That's sick.
I got chat open on my phone here, but
Okay.
That was smart.
Gigabuck says, does BeeTeas get the map as a consolation prize?
On it?
I mean, you'd have to sign it first. Ultra zoom.
Ghosts and scorpions had Dragonlord breath. Zany.
Don't worry, Bludgeon. You didn't miss much.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. We'll definitely do this in the future. There are always, even if BT can't be at a Slurpathon, there are always people who know Dragon Warrior Randomizer and who love it. So.
Yeah, I mean, one thing we could do is have an open race and just have some of the people here race it and other people race from home. There's no reason you can't participate from afar. There's no reason you have to fly all the way to Canada like I have to enjoy Slurpathon with my wonderful Canadian hosts who are treating me quite well. And I'm very appreciative.
Love having you.
The furthest I've ever twitched from home. 1,600 somethings. Decameters or whatever you call them here.
We call them kilometers.
Kilometers. All right, host, you gonna take us out?
Oh, do we have to play Zelda now?
No, what's next?
You have to.
I think Zelda's next.
What's the schedule? I feel like I haven't stopped playing video games for a while.
Next up, we do have the Zelda Trilogy Race, which will be a rematch of Canada versus USA.
All right,
with
USA.
BeeTeas
USA.
all 3 games.
USA.
It's USA's turn to win.
3 runners from
I
Canada.
recommend we keep the board up.
The board up. A rematch.
Wait, there's
NESCardinality
nothing
versus
between
BT.
Dragon Warrior and Trilogy?
There is nothing between Dragon Warrior and Trilogy.
Well, get that schedule up there. Throw up some jammy music. We got to get ready.
Alright, so everybody starts right there, and we'll be back in a few minutes.